Hi, how are you? Sorry, my office is just a little bit of a mess. I'm hoping this doesn't go completely wonky. I'm getting a new whiteboard up. It's a calendar. It's gonna go right over there. I'm pretty excited about it. But I wanted to pop on and talk a little bit more about Majik and people's first experiences, how we are seeing people's systems handle it, what's happening. And so this formula, as opposed to the one that we were testing, is much smoother. And so I really think that however you choose to start this is going to be perfectly fine. So if you want to start 2 capsules, start 2 capsules. If you want to start 1 capsule, go for it. If you are used to taking caffeine, take it with your caffeine. And so I'm not as hesitant with people needing to proceed with caution, because this formula seems to be so much smoother. And so I'll adjust some of the suggestions and the how to take and then some of the tips so that you can not be so concerned about that. But this has been something that people have seen a much smoother effect. Now, I don't know if this is going to be widespread or not, but the nice thing is I get to hear about a lot of people's experiences, and we are blown away. We are getting results from people that have never taken our line before, that they are seeing 5 pounds down. And something that I am noticing, people are like, well, man, I'm not seeing much of a difference. Here's what I find in the people that are not seeing much of a difference. Number 1, they definitely don't have the Renpho scale. Number 2, they're not tracking anything other than maybe stepping on an old scale. And I will tell you, those are the only ones that are seeing that this isn't working the way that they wanted to. But for the people that are at least measuring, they're seeing their measurement shift. And so their body is readjusting in a very powerful way. And then also, if they have the Renpho scale, we're seeing some differences that are showing that your body identified some things that have not belonged in there for a very long time. Okay, so our philosophy at Pure is to cleanse the body, balance the body, build the body. Well, when it starts to cleanse, that means it's identifying toxins that are hindering its processes. And when it identifies them, it actually kind of wakes them up. Well, what we're seeing is if people are gaining weight right at first, it's actually too high to actually be fat. So if people are almost feeling like they balloon real quick, what's happening is your body identified toxins and it says, these need to go. So it's almost as if you were cleaning out your kids' bedroom that has been a disaster for 20 years. And all of a sudden, everything that needs to go shows its face right at once. So that could be an overwhelming thing. Well, what happens is that goes into your subcutaneous fat. And so it needs to have a way to start purging that out. So it takes your body just a little bit of time to get that process down. But here's the good thing. When you take something like this and have something that you're starting to see a shift, especially as fast as we're seeing, when you notice it in 1 day, in 2 days, in 3 days, in 4 days, the noticing of anything that is different is massive, because that shows your body say, whoa, I'm gonna work with this, okay? Because we may not notice a massive shift when we drink an ounce of water. We might not notice a massive shift when we just eat a little something. However, when we take something that is going to have a positive effect, the fact that you feel that shift means it wasn't happening before. It means your body was not doing whatever it just did, which is a very good sign. Now, I know modern medicine actually has us think of side effects. This is not a side effect. This is showing that our body shifted, okay? So it's not a side effect, it's a shift, okay? So the shift means that if it was in fat storage mode before and it was not in fat burning mode, now it shifted from fat storage into fat burning. And so that's a very important thing. When you are seeing that you are sleeping better, when you are seeing that you are craving water more and you used to be a soda kind of girl. I'm loving the stories that you guys are sharing, because people are noticing that when they're craving healthier things. They're craving vegetables or fruits or protein. That's been the coolest thing, because that means your muscle is growing, because your muscle wants you to get protein. So they're no longer craving the, Starbucks breakfast drink and breakfast sandwich. So not only is that showing a shift in your pH, because whatever your pH is what you're going to crave. Well, what I just said was very acidic. What water would be and what fruits and vegetables would be is going to be more in a balance to slightly alkaline pH. So when your body starts to shift that, that means the environment is shifting in your body. There is no way your body shifts into a healthy environment that it will stay unhealthy for very long, because basically it's like, whoa, we're going to make this environment to where we are going to burn fat, we are going to be healthier, we're going to let go of what we have been holding on to for a long time. So it's a very powerful shift. So anytime you see those shifts in that right direction, if you are all of a sudden wanting to be more active, if all of a sudden you see that your mood is lighter, that your energy levels are better, that's a really good thing. And so really pay attention to way more than the weight, because the weight does not show the full picture. That's why I hate any scale that is not the Renpho scale or like it, because it's a very bogus picture. Because you may go up in weight, but your body water percentage might have gone up 3 points, 4 points percentage wise. And that's huge. What I see on the Renpho scale is when people hit 50% in their body water, they don't have a problem purging fat. Now, when people are in the 30s, they have a problem with it. And so it takes a while to get into that zone, because what is happening is your body has stagnation, okay? So if your body is supposed to basically have its cells open, and it's supposed to receive nutrients, and it's supposed to release toxins. So that's supposed to be an open process, okay? It's supposed to allow in and then release, allow in and release. So that's what it is supposed to do. But because when it has allowed things, they weren't good for us. It was a lot of fat cells, it was a lot of toxins, it was a lot of bad food, it was a lot of bad habits, it was a lot of trauma, it was a lot of stress. So our body actually has been like, no, I think it's best if I just don't open up. So the cells are very cut off. They're like, no, I don't want to participate. And so what happens is then we get more and more cells that are basically not wanting to participate. That creates this wall and barrier of fat and stagnation in our body. So that's where our circulation isn't great. That's where the nutrients can't get delivered. And so we're cutting cells off from that vibrant life that they're supposed to have. So what happens is the lower body water we have, there's more stagnation. As we get that higher, it's like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna let these nutrients in and I think I'll let go of this. When that process becomes seamless and faster, that's where you're not gonna hold on to things. And so ultimately, if you've been struggling with weight for 6 months, a year, decades, that stagnation level is very, 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 very high. So what we've got to do is show your body it is okay to accept nutrients and to release what doesn't belong. So this is helping the body to say it's okay, and this is the process. But if you don't use it, you'll lose it. So your body has kind of lost that process. It doesn't know how to do this. It doesn't know how to do this fast. It's new to it. It can relearn and it will relearn. But right now it's needing to figure that out again. And so the more that our body actually kind of breaks down those fat cells, it becomes more open. It's able to do a lot more. It's easier for it to communicate. It's easier for it to transfer the nutrients. And so that's kind of what's happening. And so kind of breaking up that barrier at first might take just a minute, but this is the big thing. If you stick with it, that process is still happening. And that's why I love that scale, because the scale shows it so much. Your measurements are going to show. When you see your midsection going down, that is so, so, so huge, because that's visceral fat. Visceral fat is basically what's in that trunk area. So from here to here, the weight that is here, anywhere around, okay, that tire, that is visceral fat. Visceral fat is basically getting more and more dense around your organs, which means that they are not getting as much blood flow. They are not able to accept, because they're basically scrunched in. Imagine if you were sitting on a bus with 2 people. It's not an issue, right? There's like capacity for 60 people on the bus. All of a sudden 30 get on. It's like, okay, it's a little harder to breathe in here, but it's okay. Wish that person would have worn some deodorant, and I wish that one would have cut back on the perfume, right? That's how it goes. But then you get 70 people on that bus, 60 was the capacity. 70, it's like, this is scrunched, I'm not comfortable, and I don't like this. Your body is doing the same thing. Your organs are getting squished. It's not meant to perform like that. And so anytime you get rid of that weight that is in that area, it is massive, because it's meaning your body's key organs are going to function at a better rate. So that's why it's so important. Even if you don't do the other measurements, I couldn't care less. get that waist measurement, get that hip measurement, because when you're starting to see that ratio different, you are really moving towards health. That's a massive, massive, massive improvement. And so really track things, because if you're going to let measurements deter whether or not you think that this is working, then you need to track them all. We're not going to be like, well, you know, my neck didn't go down 3 inches, and so this just isn't working. Your neck is not going to lose that many inches, not that fast. Okay. And so we have to pay attention to what are the actual key things that we need to pay attention to, and what are the key things that we need to monitor for health. But I did want to go over a few things with this Majik capsule. I still hate the name. But Majik, basically, initially we said you could take one and then get used to it. You can absolutely still do that, but we're really not seeing anybody have a problem with 2. And so if that's too much for you, you could always take 2 and then just back off to 1. But I'm actually not as hesitant with people to just start with 2. The other thing is taking 1 with some caffeine actually seems to trigger in a really great way, actually. That's where we're seeing that people that have had problems with the craving control, if they're taking it with the caffeine, it seems to help even more. And then if they take 2 in the morning, some people have even added 1 in the afternoon just to kind of keep that whole thing going. Again, I would suggest making sure you at least do it by 2 o'clock, because otherwise your body's just so alert. And so I'm not as concerned with starting at 1, and I'm not concerned with the caffeine as well. If you find that it is causing like a jittery or something that you're uncomfortable with, you can back off, but I'm not as hesitant about making sure your system has it for that full week before. So basically, just know that you have a lot of options, but be okay testing. Be okay with seeing how it adjusts to your system, because this has been something that we've seen really powerful things, but there just is a little bit of fine-tuning process. But so far, I've not heard anybody just be like, oh my gosh, I felt terrible. Because when I first took this, I had no warnings whatsoever. And of course, I took more than I should have, and I took it with all the things that I shouldn't have, and I felt miserable. That was the not smooth formula. It did not have the berberine. And so this is definitely a much smoother formula, and I'm really excited about it. So if you have any questions, by all means, please let me know. Don't hesitate to ask. Definitely refer to the Majik packet, because that really goes over everything from start to finish that I've been getting a lot of questions about. And so if I get asked a question, more likely than not, I'm going to make sure there's a resource available, because I don't want you to have to wait on your success based on whether or not you get a hold of me. And so that packet is hands down going to answer things. You have a phenomenal group of supportive people in this group as well. And so, but what I know is that this has been incredible. And I don't know if you've seen any of the videos, but like my friend Char Schneider, her whole family is like fit warriors. This is the last thing I would have thought was going to be for them, but they're seeing phenomenal results. They're seeing chiseling effects, more alertness, energy, more focus. They're really on their A game. And I can say I definitely had that kind of an effect with this, which is really exciting, because I've been able to get way more done. I've been so much more productive, and I've seen things that I just didn't think I was going to see in a very positive way. And so I hope that helps a little bit, but if you have any questions, feel free to put them in here, and I will do my best to watch the comments and answer. And of course, we have a lot of team members that can do the same. So if you have any questions, let us know. Feel free to browse. We are seeing that people are doing phenomenal with the hydrate and then the cleanse, and then the daily detox and cleanse if they're wanting it. But if you're looking for, hey, this is amazing, but I want to take it up a notch, you absolutely can. And those would be the products that I would highly suggest. And so you can also look at supporting products, and then just really paying attention to those 5 habits. You know, we are not just about products, we are about a lifestyle. And so when you can really help your system out in a lot of areas, that's a huge win. So win the morning, win the day. That's winning that mindset, and you approach the day rather than the day approaching you. Those days are terrible. The next one is make sure you get 7 to 9 hours of sleep every single night, really to make sure that your body can go through those processes to purge and reset what it needs to. Drinking half your body weight in ounces of water every single day is a key. Sometimes up to 2/3 of what your body weight is, especially when you're doing something like this product. Lynette talked about that in her video. So at least the half of your body weight to the 2/3 of ounces of body weight in ounces of water. And then active movement for at least 30 minutes a day, because you either are going to use it or you better be okay losing it. And I don't want to lose my ability to play with my great grandkids, not just grandkids, great grandkids. And so I just want to make sure that I'm active in doing the things that are important to me now. And then of course, take the products, because if you don't take these products, that is not going to help by staring at the pretty bottle. You actually have to open it. And so again, if you want to add anybody to this group, you're more than welcome to. If there's any other questions that we can answer, let us know. But thanks so much for tuning in, and I cannot wait to see the magic results. If you don't mind, I would love, love, love for you to just share in this group what you're experiencing, so that we can celebrate with you and really be excited for what it is that we're seeing. So that's how we help each other. We share, and then we get to inspire other people by what we needed to troubleshoot or what our experience was. And so let's just help each other win this battle of weight once and for all.